Dear Franklin County Board of Commissioners, as duly elected members of the Franklin County Board of Education, we have worked to serve children well, make responsible use of taxpayer dollars, and collaborate with the Board of Commissioners to support the advancement of Franklin County. We were disheartened by the May 7 meeting, which was supposedly established for collaboration between our two boards but devolved into an unproductive session in which little useful information was exchanged to advance the goal of increasing awareness around our budgetary needs. We were especially concerned at Monday night's Commissioners' meeting when we learned that not only was it recommended by the county manager that our basic funding request of $5.2 million in current expenses be slashed, but that the recommendation would be to fund only the statutory bare minimum based on what appears to be the default tax rate. We have struggled to comprehend the rationale for providing Franklin County schools with $950,590 of the $3.36 million needed to maintain our operations next year. As you will recall, our budget request was frugal, with the primary focus being to maintain the longevity retention bonus. This recommended funding level of $950,590 barely compensates for the potential state low-wealth funding loss that we are facing due to the county's increased revenues, and it doesn't even begin to address our longevity bonus. At the same budget meeting, the county manager championed a salary increase for the 600 county government employees of $1.4 million for next year, while not recommending funding to maintain our $2.5 million longevity retention bonus for Franklin County Schools' 1,000-plus employees. We appreciate the county manager's recommendation to fully fund our capital outlay budget, which is critical for maintaining our facilities. That said, our focus at this point is on the full funding of the current expenses request so that we can continue to pay our employees a competitive wage. On behalf of our entire school community of 8,000-plus students, 3,000-plus charter school students, and FCS 1,000-plus employees, we ask that you fund this important request. In the meantime, we are working to better understand the county manager's recommendation for educational funding, both individually and in the context of the larger budget recommendation. Here are a few questions that this review process has generated for us and that are likely of importance to our larger school community. 1. Local funding recommendation rationale. Please provide some rationale for the amount specified in the county manager's request. Where did this amount come from? How has the data that you requested and we provided informed the county manager's recommendation? Is this based on the default tax rate? If so, does county leadership believe that our schools, children and staff, deserve the minimum statutorily required amount and nothing more? 2. Paid educational consultant. The county contracted with Aaron Bewley of School Operations Specialists to review our finances related to the local budget development process. What was the intent and scope of his work? What were his specific findings? What was the cost of his services? 3. Fund balance. During FY 2023, Franklin County government appropriated $11 million in fund balance to offset expenditures throughout the fiscal year. At the end of the fiscal year, you placed the entire $11 million back in savings. This is one of several indicators that the county has a healthy fund balance and increasing revenues that can more than pay for our budget request without raising taxes. Please clarify why full funding without a tax increase is not feasible. 4. Low wealth impacts. For FY 2025, we anticipate a loss of $845,000 in low wealth funding due to a state funding formula that demonstrates an increased ability for the county to provide for district needs. With the almost revenue-neutral tax rate proposed by county leadership, we can anticipate even deeper future cuts to funding sources such as low wealth that hinge upon the county's efforts to support schools. How does the county intend to offset these funding losses? 5. Annual Financial Information Report. NC General Statute 15933-1 Reporting requirements to the Secretary of the LGC reveal details within the Annual Financial Information Report, AFIR, substantiating that Franklin County local government has continuously gained significant revenues across all areas of resources over the past 5 years, through FY 23, reduced overall debt services, but declined in the share of resources provided to support Franklin County schools. This is a report that we are digging into now that is generating more questions for consideration. 6 county vehicles. One big-ticket item in the county's funding recommendation is $1.6 million for additional new vehicles, an amount that exceeds the entire increase allocated for the 11,000 public and charter school students for whom the county is responsible. In addition, Public Utilities has what appears to be $437,000 in new vehicles as a separate line item. If this is accurate, the county is acquiring over $2 million in new vehicles in FY25. We understand the importance of emergency and law enforcement vehicles, but it is difficult for our employees and families to understand why vehicles would be prioritized over people. The appearance is that county employees are driving luxury vehicles such as SUVs and F-150s and that these continue to be purchased at significant cost. By comparison, the average FCS district vehicle is 14 years old. 7 county employee salary schedules and increases. The county manager's recommendation is to increase county government salaries by over $1.4 million beginning in October. Is this amount prorated? In other words, will this $1.4 million amount to be implemented after the first quarter of the fiscal year be folded into the FY2026 budget as a recurring expense at a price tag of over $1.86 million going forward? If so, the amount that county employees would be receiving as a raise would be more than the average amount that our employees are trying to maintain through the longevity retention bonus. Ms. Bragg stated at the May 7 joint meeting that if we pay that supplement to school employees, we will have to pay it to our county employees too. Our county employees are not going to be happy that we are paying it to another group of employees. Do you agree? If we do it for one group, we have to do it for the other group too. By her standard, since county government employees are receiving a raise, it would only be fair for our employees to also receive a raise. In this case, we are not asking for a raise, we are just asking that their salaries be maintained and not decreased. It appears that the county government has undergone several salary studies, one in 2019-20 and one in 2023-24. That represent an effort by the county to ensure that your employees are receiving competitive compensation. There is also an Excellence in County Government Performance Plan that was to be implemented in June 2024 for county government employees, but the associated website link is down. We would like to know more about this as well. What is the cost of this program and what are the criteria for employees to be eligible? We have reviewed the salary schedules and generated some initial comparisons to similar roles in Franklin County schools, and this data seems to demonstrate that the county government already pays a much higher salary for like positions. We will be doing further research, as this is especially relevant with the county manager's recommendation to increase approximately 600 employee salaries by at least $1.4 million, and potentially up to $1.8+ million. While not providing funding to maintain the $2.5 million longevity retention bonus to our 1,000+ employees. We are already getting a number of questions from our employees and parents on this issue, and we look forward to providing them with specifics on the history of salary increases for county staff. In summary, we are working to better understand the mindset and scope of county leadership decision-making as it relates to our school funding request. These are just a few of the questions that we have and areas that we would like to further explore. We are also hopeful that as commissioners elected to serve your communities, you will recognize the critical importance of ensuring that staffing in our schools can adequately meet the needs of the children and families that you are charged with representing. We are also hopeful that you are listening to our school community. There has been quite a bit of upset this week regarding the hot Micah moment captured on audio at Monday night's commissioners meeting, during which Ms. Bragg can be heard saying that this has been crazy. These people are crazy. It still doesn't change my mind. We hope that Ms. Bragg's comments are not indicative of the mindset of our elected Board of Commissioners. We would like to believe that each of you is committed to responding to the needs of the community, and that decisions will be made that are in the best interests of that community and not influenced by personal feelings. Our schools are at a critical juncture, and we are relying on your leadership to make decisions that will positively impact Franklin County. We implore you to make the right decision and fully fund our schools. Thanks in advance for your consideration of this important matter. I look forward to your prompt response to this critical, time-sensitive issue. Sincerely, Rosemary Champion, Chair, Franklin County Board of Education.